Hey everyone! Welcome to another wonderful episode of Wives Wind Down. It's Wednesday, so you already know what time it is. It's time to grab your girls, grab your drinks, and join us for some live, real girl talk and girl chat. Hey ladies, I see you all joining in. If this is your first time to Wives Wind Down, welcome. You are in for a treat. We have had phenomenal guests every single week. And if you are returning to Wives Wind Down, welcome back. Thank you all so much for your support, for your shares, and for your likes, and for your comments, and your messages, and your DMs. Like, they really touch my heart, and I just appreciate all the support that you all have shown for me as well as my guests. I am so appreciative. And if you're new to Wives Wind Down, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here. We are a group of phenomenal women, so whether you've been married, or whether you are married, or whether you are thinking about marriage, or you've always wondered like, what's marriage about? And like, what does it really take to be a great wife? Or what does it take to be a wife at all? Hey, Codie, I see you, girl. I'm gonna let you in just a second. I can't wait. I'm so excited. But yes, if you are married or you've never been married, but you've always wondered about it, this is the place for you. Whether you've been married for a few months or even a few years, all the way up to even 20, 30, 50 plus years, this is the place where we can just let our hair down and keep it real about life and love. I remember when I first got married, I just really didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. And so when we went through a lot of growing pains and different situations, I was just kind of like, I felt like I was on a deserted island because I was like, why isn't anybody talking about like being married and like what that means? Like, you see all these people who have been married like forever, but you were still like, well, how did you make it work? Like, nobody was just keeping it real about marriage. So I created this outlet for that reason, so that we could have an outlet and so that women wouldn't have to feel like, everything's a fairy tale, but so we could just keep it real and be honest and have some fun and drink some wine. So make sure you grab your drinks because we will be toasting it up later. So again, if you are new to Wives Wind Down, thank you so much. If you've missed some episodes, you can check out my IGTV because the guests have been phenomenal. And tonight is no exception. I don't even know why I'm singing. I guess I'm so excited. So without further ado, let me go ahead and welcome my girl in because I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I see you all joining. Hey, Watermelon Egg Rose. I see you, girl. Check your hips and Remo. Hey, Michi. Hey.
Okay. I love how I was like, I'll be right back. I'm going to go get my food. And then that's when you push the button. But that's okay. That's okay.
Well, do you need to go grab your food?
No, girl. It'll end up at the top of the stairs by somebody.
Yes.
Hi.
Well, welcome. You look so lovely.
Thank you. I'm trying a new lip,
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Yay. Thank you to the food fairy.
Yes, food fairy.
Thank you. Oh, man. Hi.
Praise God for
How's
food
it going?
fairies. I'm good. No, how are you doing? I had to rock my shirt. If y'all can see it, we are Black Love, even though it's just me by myself.
I see it. I see that.
I had to rock it. If y'all want one, you can go to blacklove.com to purchase one. But before we even get into it, let me introduce the people, because some of the wonderful people may not know. But if you don't know, y'all better Google. But just in case you don't want to Google, I'm about to tell you. So let me get with it. Our guest tonight, Codie Elaine Oliver. Yes, you better go ahead and take a sip. Yes, I love it. You ready? I love it. Codie Elaine Oliver is a film and television producer. She's the co-creator and director of the Black Love docuseries and editor-in-chief of blacklove.com, and has interviewed 200 couples over 6 years. That's amazing. She's also a mom to 3 boys, learning every day how to juggle entrepreneurship and family. And let me just add in there, I am personally honored that you are here tonight. Oh, look at them.
That was like a whole year ago.
Yes. Oh, I want everyone to clap it up in the comments and show your love for Codie Elaine Oliver. Yay!
Hello.
I'm so glad
you for having me.
No, thank you for saying yes, because I know that you are extremely busy. You just had the new season to roll out, so I appreciate you for taking this time. I do not take it lightly, and I just appreciate you for saying yes. I feel like I've told you personally when we've talked before, when we've seen each other and stuff, and randomly run into each other in LA, which is so random. But I want to publicly acknowledge you just for following your vision, and for, I don't even know if you knew how much of an impact Black Love would be, but I knew from day one that this could be life-changing. And for me personally, it's something that I just love, and something that we can call our own. And thank you just so much for inspiring so many couples like myself, and even my husband, and just so many people. So I just want to publicly acknowledge you and thank you.
Well, I appreciate that. It's funny when you say that you appreciate me, because I'm like, if you ask me to do something, I'm gonna do it. So it don't matter what else is going on. Like, what's funny is that I remember when Black Love launched, and I guess I may be the one live tweeting early on. Like, I don't do that now. I hate Twitter. We can talk about that whenever you like. Right. But I just remember 𝗂𝗂𝘁 on Twitter. And like, that was the beginning of like, this 𝗂𝗂𝘁, I like her. So yeah, since then we have just grown to like know each other in real life, and that makes me happy, and I'm just really grateful. And so when you call, I will show up. I appreciate you.
Yes, I appreciate that. And honestly, I don't really like Twitter either. Like, sometimes it's just a lot. But listen, when Black Love came out, I was like, oh, this is like, I am ready. So it's everything. And every season, I'm like, oh my gosh, how they gonna top season 1? How they gonna top season 2, 3? Girl, and now we have 4 now, and 4, premiered last Saturday, and I was like, I'm hooked all over. It's almost like the beginning all over again.
That means a lot. It was not easy doing this under quarantine. And just from like, and I'm not complaining. It's just funny because, it's wonderful. I always appreciate hearing people's feedback. I always appreciate when people like it, because I'm like, woo. But, we set out to do as many interviews as we could early in the year, because we were like, we're going to have a busy year. So we got to like do as much as we can at the beginning. And we got a lot done, but we didn't think we had enough. And then when March happened, it was like, okay, we'll figure this out, So I'm just grateful that we were able to put something together that hopefully does our couples justice and really tells their stories completely and actually makes an impact. So I hope you like more than just the first 2 episodes.
Oh, listen, you already know I'm probably biased because and it's literally become date night for Eric and I. We had our wine last weekend and grabbed it. I had my new little wine glasses, and it's like our date night. Like, he knows. And the DVR stays on record, so I don't need a reminder. Somebody messaged me. They was like, I missed it. I'm like, how you missed it? Like,
yeah.
So yeah, but I so appreciate you. So let's get into it. First of all, how are you doing? Like, how are you really doing right now with everything going on? How are you feeling and stuff?
I will be honest, the kids make it easier. Like, they just make it like, it's easy to forget all the things, and just like, and it's a combination of like, they're so cute and snuggly and and you're just trying to keep them alive. So you don't have time to really be stressed. And so, sure, I have my moments and my days that the weight of everything that's happening right now, from the pandemic, pandemic number 1 this year of being, just stuck in the house, and pandemic number 2. And I say this year specifically because obviously the, racial injustices that we're experiencing in America are not new. But it's just a part of 2020 being absurd. Admit, like, I'm not gonna make a list, but among other things. So I have my moments where I'm just like, this too much, but those kids really keep me in check. They just make it easy. I'm just grateful for them. And I just got to stay in that gratitude.
Yeah. Somebody said, yay, for the shout out to the kiddos. Hey, Angela. And Michi said, I have every season on DVR. The reason it's at 63% capacity.
Look, when I used to DVR stuff, I was right there with you. I don't even we don't even watch TV, really. Like, we watch the streamers. Yeah. We find ways to watch all the other things. But when I had DVR, I was always like, Tommy's like, what's going on? It's always full.
And we have both. We have DVR and streaming. It's like, we have too much, probably. That's a whole other story. I know that you're managing and like trying to balance a lot as a woman, a wife. You're a boy mom of 3. She has twins, everyone. In case you're not following her, which you should be anyway. But And you're an entrepreneur, you have the new season, and not to mention everything else that you're working on. And a lot of moms and even women in general who are tuned in right now and may watch the replay on IGTV later, they're likely thinking like, wow, like how does she do it all? Or at times they may feel reluctant to ask for help. But of course, you have your husband, Tommy, and he's a wonderful husband, wonderful dad. And you two have a great partnership. But you recently posted, I just want to make sure moms know it's okay and often necessary to ask for help. So now that you're 3 kids in, how long would you say it took you, or how difficult was it for you to finally come to this realization? And like, what does asking for help really look like for you specifically?
The beginning, I'm a very ask for help. Even like I'm a very like Google it, ask about it.
Yeah.
From minute one, you know. So with me, I was very much into not having a hospital birth. So that was the beginning of like, all right, well, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna have to research, I'm gonna have to talk to people, I'm gonna have to like empower myself with voices around me who believe that this is possible for me. So that was the beginning of it. You know what I mean? And so that's just my process as a mom, period. It's like whatever it is I want to do, if I know it's possible, then I want to surround myself with the people that I know will either have done it, or B, will be my cheerleaders. So I always ask. I like cheerleaders. So I always ask for help.
That's so good. I will say it's somewhat rare to hear because so many times women struggle for that. But I'm hoping that maybe you can empower someone to feel like, you know what, like I'm going to be that mom that's going to ask for help, versus feeling like, I feel like sometimes we can put the weight of the world on our shoulders, whether you have children or not. So I love hearing that, like, you're like, day one, I asked for help.
I will say the hardest person to ask for help, and this is on me, is Tommy. Like I have a harder time asking him for help than I do from like my woman village. You know?
Interesting.
And so I certainly, I hear what you're saying about like encouraging others to ask for help. So I try to be that voice to like my friends and to strangers, like ask for help. Hi, I'm help. I'll help you. You know, so I try to be an encouraging like woman, sister, wife, sister, mom, when it comes to that. But yeah, I do agree. I think for me and some of the people that I've observed, women can have a hard time asking their partner for help. And you know, just putting it back on me, like it's challenging to, like, as we go through different seasons too, because we had a conversation just the other day that didn't go well, but it's really about like how you finesse, you know, what you're discussing. But it was really about like all that's on his plate right now, all that's on my plate. And the moral at the end of the day was like, we're always going to have stuff, and sometimes his stuff is going to outweigh my stuff, and sometimes vice versa. And more often than not, you won't even be able to tell whose stuff is outweighing what. So, you know, if I ask for something, or he asks for something and I can do it, then I'm gonna do it. If not, we just got to be honest. I can't do that right now. And it's not about comparing, you know, well, you ain't doing as much as me. It's just about trusting that the other person is doing the best that they can in every aspect, right?
Yes. Oh, I love that. That's so good. So I want to kind of switch gears a little bit and kind of talk about the dating phase, and then when when we get to the marriage part, because I find it so interesting, and I love that you and Tommy were engaged 6 months after you met.
Say hi,
Hey,
Marcy.
Hey, girl. Hey, Marcy. Oh, thanks for joining. And the mom on the move. Hey, mom on the move. You and Tommy were engaged 6 months after you met, and now you've been married for 5 years. It's like, woohoo. So tell us how you two were intentional and serious about dating and courting, so much so that it led to you being engaged or led to you guys getting engaged when you did.
So we met in Toronto. And I mean, I'll give you the abridged version. I've told the story a million times. If he was sitting here, he would say, and she hit on me. So if you don't know the story, it's Googleable.
Right, it's Googleable. Exactly.
At the Toronto Film Festival, actually today, September 9th, 2013. Yep. And we met in a work environment. I was doing PR. He was representing his movie that he had just made. We met. He was cute. I Googled him. So I knew I didn't want to date a filmmaker. And all of this like does play into your question. I'm not just like adding color commentary. So I knew I didn't want to date a filmmaker, but I was serious about like finding, you know, my person. And so I Googled him and learned that he was a business major and a digital media major at Carnegie Mellon, or business and economics, digital media, all that stuff. And I was like, oh, he's smart, you know? So it was more than just like, he's cute. It was like, oh, okay, this is interesting, right? So by the time we saw each other later that day, a couple times, we ended up hanging out till 3 a.m. talking. The next night until 5 a.m. Now this is a film festival, so it's like normal to just be all hours of the night. So we hung out 2 nights in a row, and then we had lunch before I left. So there was obviously a connection, and there was a lot of conversation. I also say that Tommy had just just finished a semi-autobiographical movie. It's called 1982. It's totally available. Hi, 𝗪𝗶. And so I was able to learn a little bit about him I hadn't seen the movie, but I could read about it and ask very pointed questions. So all of that. Okay. So then I go back to LA. He stays at the festival and doesn't call me from like Wednesday to Sunday, even though I was like, oh, we're here. Right. And so I decided that if and when he did call, I was going to be very direct about like what he was looking for, because I knew what I was looking for. And I wasn't sure if he was just trying to have a booty call. That wasn't, but trying to like follow up on that in LA. So I was like, let me just be real direct, you know? So when we sat down for the first time, like for our first date, I was like, what's your biggest fear? Like I was prepared with the tough questions and my own answers, right? I was like prepared to be vulnerable to get him to be vulnerable, right? And so that to me was like the beginning of setting the stage for us to just get right to it. We talked about like legit, we both wanted a nuclear family. My parents were divorced. He never saw his parents together. So like we both wanted that, and we talked about it very early. So everything else was just like, okay, we want the same thing. Do we like each other? And so we also moved in together after 3 months. But it was just going well. It was just going well. And it wasn't like all extra romantic. We should live together. It was like he needed a place to live, and LA rent is expensive. And I was like, well, you're already here a lot, so maybe you should just live here. Right. It was the end of the year. It was like December 1st. I was like, if it doesn't work by January 1st, let's just separate stuff, you know, like let's just be out. So that was the deal.
Wow. I just like that you guys were, I mean, you all were intentional. You were upfront with your expectations from the get-go, because I think that's definitely something I had to learn when I was single. Like, I wasn't always communicating my expectations, but when I met Eric, I made it very clear from jump. Like, it's either X, Y, or it's either A or B, basically. It wasn't even a multiple options. It's like, we're either doing this or we're not. And you're going to have to make it, like, or not, you know, because it's like, I'm not trying to go this way. I'm done with all that. But I used to try to cater to what other people wanted, or what I thought they wanted to hear, versus like, no, Shonda, communicate your expectations of what you really want. So I love that. You've been very, who did I miss? Who I miss?
Fit with 3 is Claudine. She is fit with 3.
Hey, fit Claudine.
And can I just say, she does amazing lives that she then puts on her feed where she works out while giving really good advice, because she don't be out of breath like the rest of us. So she be like working out and then giving good advice.
Well,
with cute girls.
I might have to have you on Wives Wind Down Fit with 3.
You really should. You really should. 100%.
Let's get that connected. You've been very honest in the past about how you and your friends used to internalize like certain media and dating sites and stats that said, like, you know, Black women with multiple degrees are less likely to get married, or Black women are less likely to be chosen on certain apps. And so obviously meeting Tommy and getting married helped to demystify a lot of that for you personally. But I know that sometimes it's hard when you're like in the thick of it and you're struggling to believe in love. So what would you say to encourage a single woman who still may be struggling with some of that and internalizing some of those ideas and falsehoods? And like, what's something you wish someone would have told you?
Honestly, I'm going to say the same thing I told myself, not just about that, right? So there was that issue, which was real. And that was very much a part of me being single, like years before I met Tommy, and how I felt. But the other part of it was that I lived in LA, where anybody you meet is like, oh, you can't find a man in LA, it's so hard, like it's impossible, da da da. And I remember thinking, because I moved here in like '07, I remember thinking, like sometimes I would agree, I'd be like, right, it's so hard, right? But I remember thinking, if I really believe that, then I need to move, because that's not what I want for myself. So I can't keep playing into that, because that'll be my reality, right? Like I just, and so I say that to say, I fully relate to and experienced the damaging headlines and statistics and the things that people say casually. But if you allow that to be your reality and the narrative that you keep playing over and over again in your head, then why would that not be exactly what happens for you? And so that's what I would say. You know,
that's good. That's good. Because I know sometimes sometimes it is a mind shift. And it's like, because I heard the same things being in Atlanta. It was like, you know, how you going to, I mean, especially because I moved here in like 2006, and they're like, oh, it's hard. And then, or sometimes I hear, girl, you got the last one. I'm like, no, I didn't. But I know that sometimes it's you know, people will think, oh, it's easy for you to say. And I'm like, y'all forget we were single before we got married. Like,
exactly.
So, I mean, yes, we have our husbands now.
I think that people discount so we have our checklists, and we have this idea of exactly how he's supposed to be packaged and how he's supposed to approach you and all of that. And part of what I want to do with Black Love, and why I always do the like, how do we meet episode, is because I wanted to show the imperfections in all of that. Like I'm a big fan of Millionaire Matchmaker. I don't know if you ever watched that show, but Patty Stanger, she was always talking about like the 5-second stare, and like make sure that like he can see that you're interested, because men are approaching ladies and getting rejected all the time. Like maybe that day he don't feel like it, and if you don't let him know, hey, it's okay, you know, then he's not going to do it. And then you're going to be like, well, that guy didn't blah blah blah, or he didn't call me the same night, or he was like this. And it's like, well, he had a girlfriend and then he broke up with her, and that's when he decided to call you. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these things that we just don't know what the other person is thinking, but we decide that it's about us, and like he's whack because he didn't do this, and da da da, and you just don't know. And so I'm not saying like put up with everything. I'm just saying pay attention. You know, pay attention, and you know, they don't dress the way you like. Okay, that's fixable.
That's cosmetic.
You know. So
yeah. My husband was still rocking sweater vests when I met. I was like,
I like it. I love a sweater vest.
No, not the ones that he had. Like some are okay, but not I was like, and like you said, I was like, I could change that. Like, not that you want to change it, but I'm like, that's cosmetic. Like that's something that doesn't deal with the core of who he is and his like morals and values. Like, but yeah, I'm just like, we're gonna get that together.
Yeah.
But that's so funny. I truly believe that part of making marriage work is working together, but it's also being committed to doing the self work. Because I, like a lot of people, have learned so much about myself. You and Tommy said before in an 𝗪𝗀 article, shout out to my XO tribe, that if you don't have the ability to send and receive honest, well thought out information, then you're in trouble. You need to be willing to actually listen and refrain from being defensive. So tell us how you two have come to embrace this difficult but very true realization, and maybe even share an example where you've seen this play out in your marriage.
Well, look, I'm gonna say we are a work in progress.
We all are, sis.
Who was the one that said that in that article? I'm curious.
It said Tommy and Codie.
Genius. No, I 100% agree with the statement, and I think that I might have to struggle to think of an example right now, but at the end of the day, like, we're a work in progress, and so we're always trying to do that. You know, not always successful.
But that's honest.
Every day is an opportunity. I mean, every day, because we get into something every day. But
every day. Listen, that's why this is why we're here. This is why I created Wives Right Now, because when I first got married, I was like, am I the only one arguing? And I thought I was going crazy. You think your marriage is like going on the brinks of disaster, and then you start talking to other wives. You're like, girl, we go through that all the time, and you're like, well, why didn't anybody say anything?
Yeah, No, totally. I agree. That's why I wanted to do, you know, what we've done. I think it's important to have these conversations constantly to just normalize stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a line. You got to figure out like what can you take, and like where do you need to grow, and where do you need to just pray, and just and you all evolve, and everything doesn't have to be a huge deal, but it's just about learning every day.
Every day. Somebody, I see you, Natalie. She said every day.
Yeah,
Someone else said self-work is a must.
it is.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Somebody, Robin said, I'm learning. This ain't no joke. It definitely isn't. Like, it's
Mm-mm.
the real deal. Speaking of every day, what's one of the pettiest arguments that you and Tommy have had?
He would say everything that I don't like is petty. Okay, first off. What is a pet? Man, you stumping me right now, and I feel like there was something that happened recently.
Yeah,
I
one
mean,
day some
look,
guest
I
was
wouldn't
like,
say I can't think of like the most petty, but we did get into it this morning because oh my god, you gonna have me like really outlining a whole scenario. But you know, he doesn't like to like communicate. He likes to just do him. He doesn't like to be questioned about it. And he was arranging for our son to have lunch at school. He's in a pod. And I was like, oh, because he forgot to make the lunch. Fine, you know, it's okay. But he was trying to figure it out, and I was like, oh, okay, well, what time should I tell him that, you know, you're coming with it, and what will it be? You know, I was asking some questions about it, and he's just giving me the blank stare, right? And I'm like, you know, it's just, you know, that's teamwork, right? You tell me the information that I need so that I can communicate and make sure everything's okay. And like, he just was not having me in my like collaborative approach. And so I was annoyed. And then when I think I took Brooks to school and then came back, and he like wanted me, like he wanted a kiss, right? And I'm like mad at him. So I'm like, no. And he was like whatever. So he wanted a kiss, and I wanted an apology. He said something like, it would be so simple if you could just give me a kiss. And I was like, it would be so simple if you could just say sorry, I should have explained myself, or something like that. So that was like our petty argument today, because it was like, why you think you'll get what you want when I didn't get what I want? Like, it's so simple. You could just be like, my bad, boo, my bad. But we working on it.
listen,
I think
we
I think
all,
there's more apologies.
right, listen, we all a work in progress. The apologies thing, yeah, it's,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see you, my sister. I see
Yes.
you.
Yes. Yes.
Um, I know you mentioned before, and you even touched on this just a little bit earlier about like not necessarily having personal marriage examples to learn from, which I can wholeheartedly relate to.
Yeah.
And of course, now you have so many examples because of the show and like all the couples you've interviewed. And I don't know if this is as true for you as it is for me, but
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't see that direct example when I got married, I was somewhat fearful of like taking that next step of marriage and like the fear of unknown. So like,
Mm-hmm.
how did your upbringing personally impact your overall perception of love and marriage? And like, what, if any, fears did you have when you first got married or that you had to work through?
So I would say, so my parents were divorced, and when they got divorced, I was blindsided. Like I was 11. So for me, it was like, what? We have issues? And so, and then, you know, having a teenage into adult relationships that didn't work out, right? Because you have those that don't work out, and so you have one that does. You know, for me, it was I did not trust myself. I felt like I don't know what works. Like I don't know what is necessary for longevity. You know, and even what I read, or even what little I consume, you know, from TV or reading, you know, whatever, from learning from others, like what can I trust? And so that was hard. That it still is at times hard for me. That's not true, not anymore. I feel like I know, but don't mean
Yes.
I have it all figured out. You know what I mean? Because as Tommy says, you know, just because we know the tools and the tricks doesn't mean it's committed to muscle memory. But I'm aware. I feel like I have the information. But that was the biggest one. It's just being able to trust myself, and my choices with men, Tommy, and what our day to day should look like. What amount of arguing is okay? What amount of letting go is okay? What does it mean to let go? Are you sacrificing and compromising yourself? You know, so all of those questions, I would say, have been my biggest hurdle.
Mm-hmm. That's good, especially the letting go. I think one thing that sometimes we forget about when it comes to love and marriage is like you have to be able to forgive as much as you want to love and receive it.
Yeah.
Because it's a
Yeah.
love, forgiveness is a part of love. And like you said, letting go, sometimes for me that's difficult. I'm like, and remember, I want to like go back sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and it's like you can't, because it's like you're making, I was reading in, I think, the Four Agreements about how like you're making someone relive that mistake or that, situation all over again. I was like, I never thought about it like that. So I love that
No,
you said.
that's fair. I haven't read that in a long time. I
Mm-hmm.
should.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you
No, I
kind of
should.
busy.
I
Yeah,
know, girl.
it really pierced me when I read it because I really hadn't thought about it like that. It was like, you're making someone relive that. And then when I thought about it like that, I was like, like I don't want to make someone pay for it again. I don't want to,
Yeah. Yeah.
not intentionally, I don't want to
Right.
relive that mistake. But, when I read that, I was like, oh, that like pierced my heart. It was like tight, but it was right. You know what I'm saying? So I
How
was
long have you guys been married?
it'll be 12 years. What's today's date? It'll be 12 years on the 20th.
What? Wow. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to ask you how old you are because I don't see that as humanly possible, but okay, let's go.
38. I don't care.
Wow. So you guys were young. Wow.
I know. It seems like we were now when we look back. I'm like, I guess we
Yeah,
were.
for sure. For sure. I forgot who
Yeah.
I was talking. Oh, I was talking to Anthony and Melanie, one of the couples in episode 1, and they were talking about like how if their kids made some of the decisions that they made in their 20s, ooh, they would not go for it at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in the middle of a recession. So that was, I don't know. We had to been in love because I was like, who gets married in the middle of a recession? I don't know who does that, but we made it through.
Yeah.
Speaking of making it through, like when I think about even newlyweds, sometimes I feel like sometimes, you might go through seasons. Like for me, I went through my so-called newlywed a honeymoon phase. I didn't really have that because it was hard. So we were married in the recession. It was layoffs. We were dealing with grief. It was a lot, but every year has gotten so much better. We would argue for days and just be mad at each other. Now it's like we can hit it, quit it, and we're done, moving on.
What
to
do
the
you
next.
think changed?
Just continuously talking.
Yeah.
I think just that and our commitment to like fight harder for each other than against each other. Yeah. Like a lot of that was just growing pains, and then like you put everything else on top of the growing pains, a recession and the grief and the layoffs, and it just compounds. And so, but we just kept, I think the turning point though, which is interesting, which I'm like, wait a minute, you try to flip the script and try to ask me a question. This is about you. But I will say
it's about wives. It's about wifedom.
That's true. That's true. Well, a good friend just asked me that, and I told her one of the turning points was when we moved to Memphis, because I was not trying to move there. I was like so like depressed, but because we didn't really have anyone there, we had no choice but to like really, really lean in on each other. And that was like it was like the second or third year of our marriage. And so that was definitely a turning point because we knew we had to like rely on each other. It was like, in order to get through this and this season, we don't know why we're here. We don't know why God made it this way and why we're married and trying to do the right thing, but it's like everything's falling to pieces. We were like, we're going to have to like spiritually come together and like pray and just talk. And so it was a compilation of all that counseling and talking. But definitely when we moved to Memphis, it was like, okay, we're going to have to like really be that glue for each other. Like it's us against the world, literally. So, but like, what would what type of, encouragement, how was your first year? Like, would you say your first year was like honeymoon newlywed, or would you say it was like little growing pains?
For sure, growing pains, for sure. And And I would say, look, I'm all for people knowing what they want and settling down as soon as they want to. I would never tell anybody, don't get engaged after 6 months. But I would say for us, even though we talked a lot early on, there was just so much more, I think, getting to know each other that happened in that first year than I think would have if we had been together before it. And so that's what our first year was full of, you know? And yeah, it's almost like, it's weird because we could have gotten married at any point and just that been totally normal, that a normal period. But instead it was like our first year of marriage, you know, we argued a lot. I'm trying to think, we got married in February. I got pregnant in December. So the second year was also challenging because we argued a lot when I was pregnant. But yeah. The first year is kind of it may have been more of that second year when I think about it than the first, because so little really changed. We already lived together. We were already working together. Yeah, I can't even picture 2015. I don't know what we did.
Right?
Actually, we did. That was like when we were making the first season of Black Love, even though we didn't know that's what we were doing. We were making a documentary. But we went on a 2-week road trip where we went to New York and we drove down all the way to Atlanta, and we did like tons of interviews on the way. So that was the summertime. So I feel like that year was probably like fun and fast paced. But less about marriage and more about like getting his work done. Like for us, the fact that we work together is an additional layer, because we have very different like communication styles and work styles. And so the fact that we work together, it's just this added layer that we've had to sort through, right? Our marriage hasn't been like always like just like, oh, romantic in marriage and learning each other. It's like we could have a good personal day and then a bad like working together day, and then trying to figure out how to leave that wherever that is, because we didn't have no office then. So you know, leave that at one of the doors, you know. So I always say, or I've learned that in our first 5 years of marriage, I was more pregnant or postpartum than not, right? Plus we worked together. So it's like, we're just now at a place where it's like, oh, we're getting used to this life. Everything now is beginning to be familiar, and we're able to like create a life together as marital partners, taking care of all of these things, as opposed to building a business, building a family, having a baby, and all of the hormones and the like, all the things that come with that. Like our marriage is very, I don't want to say unique, because that's probably a lot of people's story, but it's specific in that way. A lot happened.
A lot did.
Do you listen to the Michelle Obama podcast?
Yes.
Did you listen to the marriage one?
Not the one with Barack, or because I know she did one with Conan. No, everyone can tell me about that. I need to listen to that one.
It's really
I heard it was good, even though the parents,
you should listen, and then I'll come back on and we can talk about it.
Now, Codie, you know, don't you? I will hold you to it.
I'm with it. I would love to talk about it. I think it was great.
And if you ladies, I'm definitely going to check that one, because everyone keeps talking about it. If you ladies have questions, feel free to drop them. And I meant to ask you all later, like I usually do, drop a 1 if you're single, a 2 if you're married. And I see a wonderful question. Well, I see a few comments as well. Somebody said, I love this platform. #girlfriend time. Love this conversation. Thank you, ladies. And Fit with 3, thank you for your question. Says, I feel like the arguments can lead to better understanding of each other. Do you wives agree? I'll let you answer first.
I definitely do, but I think, okay, hold on, I'm plugging this thing up so you're gonna see me moving around. But I think that that has to be like somewhat intentional. Like you have to be thoughtful. You know, I'm gonna be moving some things for a second here. You have to be thoughtful. That might work. You have to be thoughtful about that, because yes, it can certainly lead to better understanding and like a better relationship if you're intentional about that. Because some people just fight, and we have those too, where it's like,
and some people just argue just to argue.
Yeah, we definitely have those too, where it's like, I need you, and you know, I have to communicate, but look, I need you to hear my heart. I need you to hear what I'm saying to you. Because even if you think it's not significant or this is too small or whatever, like it hurts me, it bothers me. So, you know, I agree. I think that arguments absolutely should be a space to learn and grow.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And like figuring it all out, she says always love. Yeah, huh?
Sorry,
Always love.
I moved my little thing and now I feel so much better. Okay, carry on.
Good for you. She said always love with intention. And to your point, Codie, I think that's right. It's like it's not just about arguing just to argue, because some people like to argue just to argue, but it's
Right.
also about, you know, whether it's an argument, whether it's a conversation, but just like getting to a resolve, and not letting the issue be the issue, but like what is the resolution so that we're not just continuously arguing. I think sometimes a lot of arguments continue is because like you agree on a resolution, but someone's not holding up their end of the bargain, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's
Somebody
real.
said, side note, she said she was trying it out, but did Codie share what lip color that is? Great question, Angela.
I can go get it. It's a Sephora color that I think is called like berry, but it's not berry enough. It's almost brown, but I wanted it to be like berry, like purple berry. Yeah. But I can go get it. If y'all really need the name of it, I will go get it.
I like it. And thank you for not, because when people ask me for lip colors, I never know. I'm like, I couldn't tell you. They'll be like sprinkleberry and caramel kisses.
I have no idea.
I will have no idea.
So you don't know what that is? You don't know what that is?
Yours. No, I know I can tell you the shape of the container, but I have no clue. It's a metallic. I have no clue what it's called, the brand. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
That's nice.
So I want to switch gears to what we call like the rapid fire round. And
they're so serious. Hold on, I'm gonna go get it because a couple people have asked. Hold on.
Okay.
Wait, now you're gonna see that I'm party on top and yoga pants on the bottom.
So while Codie is going to grab her lipstick, I just want to thank you all again. We're gonna dive into our rapid fire. Make sure you have your glass of wine because we are going to toast it up. I saw a few of you all asking earlier, like, do I need to grab my wine? Yes, you absolutely need to. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on IG Live, you need to grab your wine and come with us because this is girl time. This is what we're here for. We're here to just keep it real and be honest. She's got the vaccine, and this is dedication, y'all. She really cares about y'all.
Hold on, I look old. Okay, hold on.
When you got closer, it does look more berry.
Yeah, right? So it's Sephora. It says 24, and it says, Lord Jesus, what is the color? Child, it says made in Italy. I'm going to keep looking. I'm going to keep looking. Oh, wait. Rouge. No, that's the name of it. Cream lip stain. All right, this is it. Good luck.
I think it's Rouge I think Rouge is probably it.
Cream lip stain. It says 24. That's probably helpful.
24.
Good luck.
Right. Good luck, Chuck. Okay. Well, you heard it straight from Codie's mouth. Rouge 24 Sephora.
Right.
And you'll have the IGTV replay. So if you need to screenshot it, feel free. And feel free to take screenshots of us and share it with your friends. Tell a friend. Tell your girlfriends. Okay. So are you ready, Miss Codie?
I think so. Yes. I'm ready. I'm also getting my potatoes.
I threw in a few extra fun ones for you as well because it's a special night.
So this means I have to like answer quickly?
As quickly as possible. Yes.
Okay.
One, use the bathroom. And ladies, for those of you all joining us in the chat, make sure you drop your answers as well. Y'all know y'all get a little serious about these questions each week. Use the bathroom in front of each other or nah?
The only reason I'm hesitating is because the short version is no, but our bathroom's really small. And so like I'm uninterested in that, but like if we did it, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Like when it has happened, it's like fine, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. But you mean like wait, like there's obviously numbers. 2? No. I don't want there to be any confusion. Nobody is sitting for long periods of time in front of the other.
Well, it looks like the consensus says no, but if my husband was in here, he'd be a big yes. Someone else said yes if together for long. No, I still don't like it, but I like
Why
you
you
for
say
being
when
here.
Claudine said has no choice? What you mean you have no choice? You have a choice.
You have a choice. Said yes because we only have one and he stays interrupting me. Same, sis. Like, but I would say no, but he stays I'm like, just get out. But anyway,
Right.
toilet paper over or under?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so he and I are opposite, and I know apparently now there's like one way, so whatever. I think my way is the not way. I think I like it under.
You're under. I could tell because you went like
and
this.
I'll tell you why. Because you can just rip it like that. If it's over and you do that, it doesn't like rip. Anyway, whatever. Under. Thank you, Premier Posh.
Yes. Hey, princess. And Tan's with you. She said under. Single date, just you and hubby, or double date?
I like a double. I like to hang. I like to, I do. He would not say that. He would say single.
Eric
I
too.
like a double.
Eric too. He's like, takeout or home cooked meal?
Well, he does the cooking, so I'll take either one.
Nice.
Fun fact. Yes, he does.
Yes. Love that. Yeah. And see, that's what I want to normalize, because a lot of times we get caught up in traditions and and roles and stuff. It's like, I want to normalize, like, your household may be completely different, and your husband may be the cook of the house, and my house, you might not want your husband in the kitchen because I love him, but
right.
Tropical island getaway or cold cabin getaway?
Tropical island. But I'm not opposed to a cold cabin. I like I like to be snuggled up. But I like the heat.
Who takes longer to get ready?
Me, but I'm not long. Let's be clear. I'm quick. I'm quick with it.
What's quick?
Look, the other day we had a photo shoot. I forgot which one, but the one we did, it wasn't for Forbes, but the one with the blue outfits or whatever. And it probably took me 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Because my husband,
I've learned he's super low maintenance, and so he's gonna do nothing, and I have to get everybody ready. So and today I did just the lashes. I had to give y'all the lash. I did the lashes, concealer, and the lip, and I was like, "That's what we're gonna do."
And it looks
that was probably 10 minutes, and I was doing two things at once.
I see a lot of hymns and husbands in the chat. So
yeah, here's my thing, because I almost hesitated. When it comes to just getting ready, he's faster. When it comes to getting out the door, he'll find 3 things to do and then be like, "I was waiting for you."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "What?" I've been ready.
Yes. Been ready. Hair scarf on or off during sex?
Off.
Okay.
But not for me. He don't like it.
Okay. Would you rather, option A, argue all the time but have great makeup sex, or B, never argue and have mediocre sex?
The latter.
Okay.
You can work on that. I'm not saying I don't like arguing, like I don't get that it's necessary, like it's a part of life, but I'm not a person who can have sex mad. That's not me. And so I'm not good with the like, oh, we gonna work this out physically. No. Yeah. I need to hear all the things.
Yes.
And then I will welcome you.
Right. I need my mind to be at ease.
Yeah.
Who's usually the first to apologize?
Me. He wouldn't say that though, but it's me. It's me. I ain't perfect. No, I mean I don't apologize all the time, but I do think when it comes to it, I'm gonna say it for peace, and he's not.
That's a word right there.
He might be like, "I'm sorry we argued today."
Yeah. I'm sorry that I annoyed you so much.
I'm sorry that you were annoyed.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, passive aggressive. Okay. These last 3 are just kind of fun ones that I threw in there because I know how much they just, But favorite Black love movie of all time?
Me, The Best Man.
Codie, no.
All day. What?
That's mine.
Oh, good. Okay, you said no. I was like, dang, what I missed?
I didn't realize you were October baby too. I was like, we have so much in common. I literally watched
The Best Man. I love
hands
it.
down. Hands
Hands
down.
down. And I think that might be a part of our, like, remember you said single date or double date? Like, we like the friend aspect, like the loving group of supporters and homies and just like all that love together. I'm with you.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I see a lot of people saying The Best Man, Love Jones. Gotta pay homage to Love Jones because it's like Queen B. If you only had to pick one, only one, Lemonade, 𝗵𝘃𝘁, or Black is King.
Okay. I think Lemonade.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Lemonade. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Lemonade.
When Angel was on a few weeks ago, she chose 𝗵𝘃𝘁.
Oh yeah. I believe it. I believe it.
Okay. All right. Lemonade. Because sometimes people forget. I'm like, with the 𝗵𝘃𝘁 and Black Steam's great. And Lemonade, when Lemonade dropped, it was like, it was magnificent.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, last one. I think I know the answer to this one, maybe. Black Love, season 1, 2, 3, 4, or all of them?
All of them, duh. Duh. But I will throw a shout out to 𝗪𝗶𝘃𝗲𝘀.
Yes.
If y'all have not seen this video that she did, it's on our page, it's on our YouTube. I cut out this part of it because she sent us this very long, beautiful video where she talked about, she did mention that, like, I told her, like, she was one of our first fans. Like, she was one of our first Instagram followers. She was in the DM. She was like, I love this show. It's so good. Like, that's how, like, our relationship is purely, like, DM based because she, like, loved Black Love that much. And so when we used her song in this upcoming season, which will be in the finale, spoiler alert, but whatever, when we used her song, we were like, would you want to, do anything to promote? And she was so excited. So watch her video on our page where she talks about her favorite moments from the first three seasons. Yeah.
Yes. When I saw that, I was like, oh, India, like, it just warmed my heart because it's like it's just, it was just a nice, I'm just so glad that you all got to collaborate.
Girl, it warmed my heart too. Look, she said, put out the full video. It was wonderful. Like, when I watched it, like, my heart was like pitter pattering. It was just listening to her voice and like the things that she was saying and the things that she observed and remembered about these couples. Like, it just, I had like butterflies listening to her talk about it. But we did not put out the whole video because it was long. It was long.
Like how long?
It was 12 minutes.
Oh, girl, this IGTV is going to be longer than that.
We put out 6. She's amazing. She's amazing.
Give the people what they want.
I know.
She is amazing though. Like, her spirit. I'm so glad. Like, somebody asked, which couple are you closest to post interviews?
That's a good question.
Great question.
Oh, look, hands down, 𝗪𝗪𝘂𝘁𝘂, who was just here, is one of my best friends. Hands down. Yeah. Now, granted, we have great relationships, and I do not like naming names because then it becomes like, I know I'm going to forget somebody. But we are so grateful for so many of them. One of them, Chris and Vanessa Spencer, has Date Night Live, I think at 6, which is 9 y'all's time. So go to their page. They've been interviewing couples every week since quarantine started, and it is like, everybody had a live when this all started, but when they did that, I was like, I can watch this. Like, this is good. But yeah, hi Ashley.
Yes, listen, this is a shameless plug, but Ashley, I'd love to have you on. I sent you an email, so I love you. I got to meet Ashley last year at the Black Love Summit when I was covering the event stuff, and we were talking and got to interview them stuff. But then, like, me, her, and her husband, we just had this moment where we're just vibing and just talking. And when I tell you, her, like, I felt her spirit through, like, that season and on Black Love, but, like, in person, you could just feel her positive energy. It's like,
she's
contagious. Yeah, she's just so amazing.
I ain't gonna sit here and fill her little head up though. Okay, she knows she cool and all, but I do love her, and I literally found her on. Don't be mean to your husband.
Right, I'll DM you, girl.
I found her on the internet. like I found her blog and I just like loved how she talks about her relationship. And I was like, and I saw that they moved to California and I was like, hey, can we do this interview? And that's how we met. And I send out like a little questionnaire before the interviews. And she said that it asks like, how many kids do you have? And she said that she was pregnant and I was pregnant. Aww. And so we met and it was like a secret, but it was like, we just been friends ever since.
So y'all are besties.
Oh yeah. Oh no. It's real. It's real. Don't tell her. Don't nobody tell her. She be feeling herself. Okay.
Right. I'm feeling myself. Well, listen, Codie, this has been phenomenal. I shared earlier a video just showing like my vision board and how I had Black love on my vision board. And, you know, Black love means so much to me. I mean, it's not just the show, but it means something. Right, it means a lot to me personally. So this moment was just like a full circle moment from everything that's happened leading up to here. And I'm just so grateful that I've been able to meet you and get to know you on a more personal level. And I just thank you for being here today. And I want to make sure that before you toast, share with the people, everybody grab your glasses, grab your wine.
It's gone.
Lord! You know, I thought you took your final sip earlier, and I was like, well, maybe she still got a little gulp in there. Well, you'll just have to, okay, there you go. Make it work, child. Listen, that means you had a good time, hopefully. I did. Somebody said, Codie, Shaden Ford, she said, Codie, I just love hearing from you. Somebody said, oh yeah, that's Ashley said, I love Codie in real life. We love you too. And Fitwit, thank you for coming through. She said, you are both lovely. Great conversation, ladies. Cheers. So here we go. So Codie, tell them how they can follow you, anything you want to share, and what you're toasting to tonight.
Okay, so follow me at Codie Co and then at Black Love. What do I want to share? I do want to say one thing. This season, we did the official Black Love After Show. It is called After Love. It debuts on our Black Love YouTube page, which is youtube.com/Black Love, which that it debuts every night after the episode ends. So check it out. Please watch, give feedback, all that good stuff. We're having a good time with it. It's doing well, but I hope that's not like a first week thing. So please like watch it and tell me what y'all think. That's all I got. What am I toasting to? Man, I'm toasting to
you can tell whatever else you have. If you have something else you wanted to share, that's totally fine. But yeah.
No, that's probably my biggest thing is like, I'm happy to be where we are right now and doing something that I love. And After Love is sort of the newest part of the brand. And honestly, the response has been so good. Like, I'm just enjoying it. And I love being able to have these conversations after the fact. I wish it wasn't COVID. We would have like way more of them.
Yes.
But you know, that's kind of it. That's kind of it.
Yay. So what are you toasting to then?
I am just toasting to being grateful for where I am and what I have, and for platforms like this where we can talk about wifedom in all of its glory. And yeah, that's it for me.
Yes. Cling, cling. Eye contact. Cling, 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 cling.
I have to leave this glass here so people know I'm not sober.
Somebody said, Angela said, yes, Mason Jar, we're Kendrick, Codie.
Yeah, exactly.
And Angela's a mom boy
water,
too.
But I have
yes. Well, I want to toast to, people always talk about their day ones, but I appreciate my day twos and my day afters. And people that I've had the opportunity of getting to know and connecting with, whether it's through social media, and just, you know, I've met some wonderful, phenomenal women through social media, because sometimes people just only know you from who you used to be. And so I appreciate the day twos and the day afters and those people that came after the day one. So I toast to that, and I appreciate you. Cheers.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
With that said, we have 1 minute.
Wait, can I say something?
Oh,
can I say something? Okay, first off, hi, 𝗪𝗏. Secondly, I was thinking when you were talking about your husband and moving to not Nashville, where was it? Memphis, and that me against us against the world. So Imani B, she is Imani B. I was going to say you should have her on because they have a similar story, much shorter time period, because they haven't been together as long as you guys have, but they've been abroad living all over the world, not in the US, and they certainly have a we all we got mentality. So
Well,
she would be a
listen.
wonderful person for you to have on Wives Wind Down.
Well, the more the merrier. And Imani B, I got your name right now, so I'm gonna holler at you, girl. Don't y'all try to act like y'all don't know. Codie done already vouched for y'all, so make her look good. But
Right.
yes, for those, thank you so much again, Codie. Thank you all who tuned in, all my viewers, my day ones, and all of those who are just joining. You catch us every week, every Wednesday, Wives Wind Down. And also you can catch the replay on my IGTV, which will be posted right after this. So share, tell a friend, and join us each and every week. So thank you.
All right.
Have a good night. Thank you, Codie.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.